In 1999, Ford unveiled a new design for the 35th anniversary edition of the Mustang. Its eye-catching design and exhilarating performance captured the hearts of automotive enthusiasts across the country. As with any new design, Ford offered multiple trim levels, including the highly sought-after Cobra. Boasting big numbers on paper, in reality, the '99 Cobra was a disappointment compared to the previous year. So in 2000, Ford unleashed the ultimate redemption for the Mustang Cobra, the Cobra R. I plan to build one, a better one. This is a 2003 Wild Horse GT. So I bought this car with the intention of turning it into a 2000 Cobra R. When I went to go buy one, I liked the car. The only thing that I didn't like is I kind of want to modify it to be my own. And since there's only 300 Cobra Rs in the world, I felt it was better for me to take just a regular GT and make it into a Cobra R. So that's the plans for this car. The differences between the GT and the Cobra R is that obviously the power source is different. Cobra R has a 5.4 liter V8. Suspension's different, wheels are different, interior's different, body's different. So a lot of work here to get this to be a Cobra R. And I know some of you are going to say, well, it's cheaper to buy a Cobra R than it is to make this one into a Cobra R. I agree. However, I want to make my own. I want to make something that's unique to what I'm looking for. For example, as I mentioned, the Cobra R had a 5.4 liter V8 in it. This is going to have a 5.2 liter. And I'm debating on whether I'm going to go Voodoo route or Predator route, so either out of the GT350 or the GT500. So update the engine source. Some other changes we're going to have to make, we'll go through as we go through the car. We're going to go through this in detail and kind of outline what's here. And we'll talk about what we need to change in order to get this to look like a true Cobra R. So let's get into it. Okay, so you can definitely tell this is an Arizona car. You can tell by the way that it is, well, at least where the paint is. Got this car from a guy who just graduated college. He had it all through high school and college. He didn't really do much to it. Maybe it's got aftermarket exhaust on it, which doesn't sound any better than the stock exhaust. Outside of that, I mean, it's got a aftermarket stereo, which you'll see here in a minute. But outside of that, I mean, I think it's got cold air intake on it and some aftermarket headlights. I think he was the second owner. It's got this, vinyl Go Fast stripe on the hood, which obviously doesn't work in Arizona. Serious paint issues, but that's every car I own. But then the trick is you trade rust with paint in Arizona. So no rust, but obviously paint issues. So like I said, it's an 03 GT Premium. It's fully loaded. It's got leather interior. It's got the upgraded sound system in it. And here's an example of some of the paint issues. These are rock chips, which are very common in Arizona. And it's mostly on this passenger side. There's a few on the driver's side. You can see here some of so this Go Fast stripe's really taking the brunt of a lot of the heat out here in Arizona. And we're gonna need to get that off. I'm gonna try maybe using some steam to get this taken off. That spot right there is really the only concern I have right now with rust, which is not too bad. These are, this was an option in 2003 to get these wheels. These did not come standard. These are 245 R17s. These rotors are drilled and slotted. And these are Firestone Firehawks, which are relatively new. 81,809 miles on this thing. It was owned by a college student. Somebody explain it to me. How do you have this car as a college student and only have 81,810 miles on it? Like, I drove mine into the ground, so I don't know. And this car is outside of the paint, it's in amazing condition. Let's get into the trunk. So trunk's in great shape. It's got a backup camera. One of those idiot backup devices, so you know what you're doing. Dark gray, what is this, charcoal? I don't know what the official term is for it, but it's in great shape. The only thing I've added is that shift knob. Seat has got a rip in it, but for the most part, it's not in bad shape at all. The back seat I don't think has ever been used. He does have aftermarket gauges on it, which I found was interesting. These are white face gauges. Doors are in good shape. Typically you get right in here, you get some separation, which isn't too bad. I think this will clean up. We're gonna try to, I've been driving it, but I haven't detailed it since I got it, so we're gonna try to clean it up. Let's go on the other side. My goal is again, rear seat delete, since the 2000 Cobra R did not have a back seat. I gotta find Recaros for this because the 2000 Cobra R had Recaros that had the R Cobra symbol in the back of the seat embroidered. So I have to track those down. I don't think I'm gonna find them, so we're gonna have to find something that's comparable. It's got hood struts on it, which actually work, believe it or not. This is stock 4.6 2 valve. I think this is a Windsor block. I don't know. I know these came from Romeo, Texid, and Windsor. There might have been one other one that I'm not remembering. Texid were predominantly the 0304 Cobra engines, which are some of the most sought after. This one at least has at least 1 horsepower, if not more. That adds at least 1. Only car I know of that actually has at least 1 horse in the engine bay. So this engine, actually, we have plans for, assuming I can get my hands on what I'm looking for in the 5.2. I'm toying around with the idea of putting this into the Edge Ranger. So we'll see if that's possible. I don't know. I think it's wide enough for the Ranger, but I don't know as far as if there's enough clearance front to back. There's obviously clearance top to bottom, but front to back is where I'm most concerned. So the biggest differences between a Cobra R and a regular Mustang is side exhaust. So this obviously has the standard rear exhaust. We're going to actually go get the side exit exhaust put on, which, if you notice how this bumper is, it's going to look weird. And the same problem they had with the 2000 Cobra R is that the rear bumper had holes in it for the GT. So what they ended up doing is Ford actually took a rear bumper off of a V6 base Mustang, which does not have these exhaust cutouts, and put that on there. So we're going to source rear bumper from a V6 and put that on here. So here's a close-up of the side pipes. So again, this is totally custom, no muffler, straight pipes. And got this done over in Performance Muffler in Glendale. Talked to Cole over there, he did a great job. And it sounds amazing. I think it looks great, very unique, and this is just a 2-exit pipe on a single, so nothing too fancy. It took him about an hour and 15 minutes to get it done.
Dude, when I was walking over here, I was gonna say, oh my god, I want to sit on it.
Spark's got a new Mustang right over there. So now the matter of the rear bumper, obviously this has cutouts for the exhaust, for the stock factory exhaust. What I'm torn on is you can get so the Cobra R actually had a V6 rear bumper because it doesn't have cutouts in it. You can get a base rear bumper for relatively inexpensive. It doesn't necessarily say Mustang on it. If you want it to say Mustang, you've got to get an actual V6 factory rear bumper, which is probably twice the cost of a non-factory one. I'm not really committed to the idea that it says Mustang on the rear end. Quite honestly, there's going to be very little Mustang in this car when it's done. But you guys let me know in the comments whether I should go with the blank rear bumper or the one that says Mustang. All right, so that's going to do it for today, guys. We have a lot more to do on this car. Obviously, we got to get hood, front bumper. We've got to get the spoiler, the rear bumper, as I mentioned, wheels, tires, suspension. I mean, the list is just growing by the minute. First step in this journey was to get these side pipes on, which I'm really, really happy with. Got a little bit of a clearance issue, but I'm not too worried about it. Overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this content. Remember, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one.